I'm Genesis.
And I'm Angelica.
And our top story tonight is an ongoing debate between abstinence-only and comprehensive sex in the United States. Many have asked if there's a significant difference in what is best for teens.
According to a peer-reviewed journal article titled Abstinence Only and Comprehensive Sex Education and the Initiation of Sexual Activity in Teen Pregnancy, conducted by Pamela K. Kohler, there was no significant difference between adolescents who received abstinence-only education and those who received comprehensive sex education in terms of their likelihood to report teen pregnancy.
Although comprehensive sex education was slightly associated with a lower likelihood of reporting having engaged in vaginal intercourse, abstinence-only education did not decrease the likelihood of engaging in vaginal intercourse.
Today we will be putting our reporters into the field to ask if sex education should be taught in schools and what difference they believe it has on teens.
I'm Jeremy and I'm here with Sebastian. We're here to talk about sex education and whether schools should start implementing them. First question, what are your thoughts on sex education?
I think it's very important to teach our youth about how to have safe sex.
Okay. Question, do you think it should be a discussion for home?
Yes, I think it should be taught at school, but also as a discussion.
Okay. Next question, what age group do you think schools should start teaching about sex education?
Middle school, like 6th grade, 5th grade-ish.
Okay. Do you think that teaching sex education will decrease the chances of STDs and teen pregnancies?
Yes.
Last one, do you think that abstinence is better than sex education?
I believe they're both very important. However, I think that sex education leads to abstinence, I guess.
All right, awesome. All right, well, that concludes our interview. Thank you for taking the time to answer my questions. Now back to Genesis.
Thank you, Jeremy. Now in an article called Abstinence Only and Comprehensive Sex Education, What Are the Arguments? By Chris Collins and Todd Summers, presented an overwhelming body of evidence from peer-reviewed scientific journals that some comprehensive sex education programs can lessen behavior that puts young people at risk for HIVs, STIs, and unplanned pregnancies.
Contrarily, there is little to no reliable data to support the claims that abstinence-only programming influences young people's behavior in a good way.
Now, to Madeline.
Madeline, I'm here with Jaden, and we're here to talk about sex education and whether it should be implemented in schools. And I have a few questions to ask him. So one of my first questions are, what are your thoughts on sex education in schools?
In schools? I think it's a very good idea for the kiddos to learn. Not exactly about sex, but about the anatomy.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it should be discussed at home?
Of course.
With the parents?
Of course. They're your children. Do you want them learning about this stuff from other kids in school? No. You want them to learn from you.
What age group do you think schools should start teaching sex?
I was taught in 5th grade at the ripe age of 10 years old.
Do you think that helps?
It does. Because I learned about my anatomy.
Yeah.
And everyone learned about the anatomy because I was at that age. You're wondering what's down in your pants. I'm being honest though.
Do you think teaching sex education will decrease the chances of STDs and teen pregnancies?
Yes. Miami-Dade is the #1 STD county in Florida. Well, in the U.S. actually. So just saying that's in Florida. So sex education should be taught.
Yes.
Especially in Miami.
Do you think abstinence is better than having sex education? So having no sex at all?
No.
Because
Now
kids are still gonna...
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're going to, you tell them not to do it, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to want to do it more.
Thank you, Madeline. Even a study by David Hall titled Abstinence Only Education and Teen Pregnancy Rates Why we need comprehensive sex education in the U.S. demonstrated a substantial relationship between adjusted median household income and the percentage of white youth in the teen population.
The study concluded that states that required abstinence-only sex education laws that emphasize abstinence until marriage were noticeably less successful in preventing teen pregnancies than states that taught comprehensive sex and HIV education and covered abstinence along with contraception and condom use. Now to our last interview in the field.
So I'm here with,
My name's Kurt Ruback and I'm 33 years old.
and we're gonna ask you some questions today. So, do you think that it would be beneficial to teach teenagers about sex education, or would it not be?
It's definitely beneficial.
Do you think that it would prevent many young teen pregnancies?
I don't know about that. I just know that it would give women options and guys options, as far as what they can do to prevent, pregnancies and STDs, like whether it's taking a pill or maybe even a men getting, I forget what it's called, but basically where they don't produce semen, so they can, still have sex and everything, but they just can't get someone pregnant, and it's reversible. So that's also another option instead of the woman having to take a pill every day or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that it should be available to just women or men too?
What do you mean?
If it should just be the girls that are getting education, or if guys should get education?
No, men should be getting education also.
Yeah, I heard that.
All right, thank you, Michael. In conclusion, it is essential that sex education should be a topic of discussion given the growth in STDs and teen pregnancies. It is reasonable to conclude that education about contraception is not linked to a higher risk of teenage sex behavior or STDs. Teenagers who received comprehensive sex education had a lower likelihood of getting pregnant than those who simply received abstinence instruction or none at all.
It is essential that the education system starts implementing more comprehensive education rather than abstinence education. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll have more at News 8.